Hey everyone, Heavy here. Stock market craziness reaches a level nobody ever thought possible, and cryptocurrencies break out on attention from Elon Musk and others. Welcome back to another episode of Cold Plunge every day until Bitcoin 50K. Today I will be talking about stock market craziness as well as cryptocurrency price action. But first, we need to do our cold plunge. We're currently sitting at 30 degrees Fahrenheit right now. And the pool has dropped down to 46. Crypto cold plunge, baby. Big day today. Beautiful. Beautiful. I love the cold, man. I love the cold. It is going to be such a big day today on the markets. We have meme stock craziness just blowing up, like I said, reaching levels nobody ever thought possible. I'm telling you, as Chris Cuomo said, we have political forces that we've never seen unite that are currently uniting. I'm talking AOC and Ted Cruz are sitting in agreement with something, and it's just it's truly unprecedented what's going on right now. It is a revolution. I mean, I've heard a lot of people compare it to the Occupy Wall Street protests, and they're saying this is how you properly do an Occupy Wall Street protest. This is how you get on their radar. This is how you put them on notice. And it's so true. It's like, as people have said, it's the dollar vote that matters. If you want to get somebody's attention, target their money. If you want to get Wall Street's attention, make them lose a whole bunch of money through your actions. As we saw in the years after the great financial crisis of 2008, the banksters got away with basically a cost of doing business tax, otherwise known as fines from the federal government. But most of those did not exceed $1 billion. We're currently looking at $70 billion in losses just for the hedge funds that have shorted these big meme stock names. One of the reasons why this whole thing came about in the first place is because these were the most shorted names on the market. Gamestop, AMC, Bed Bath & Beyond, Dillard's, Koss, not really Nokia, but the point was the Redditors wanted to burn those people that were trying to make a bunch of money by short selling. And so, I mean, the losses are difficult to fathom. $70 billion. I know for a fact that there weren't $70 billion in fines handed out after the great financial crisis of 2008. So this is basically like the sheriff coming to town, or no. This isn't the sheriff. This is the individual. This is the mob. This is the mob going after the hedge funds. And it's super cool to see. And frankly, one of the coolest parts about this whole thing has been the support that the Redditors are getting from all sides. It's looking like very few people are coming out to support Wall Street. One of the only people that I've seen in the mainstream to come out and legitimately support Wall Street so far has been Keith Olbermann from GQ. Honestly, who gives a crap about that guy? And we see the lawmakers coming to the sides of the Redditors. We see billionaires, celebrities, everybody. There, for example, this morning I saw this Asian billionaire. I'm not sure what country he's from, but he is gonna put $1 million into GameStop today. Dave Portnoy's got $2 million tied up in the meme stocks now. Chamath, he put a few $100,000 into GameStop earlier this week. You just see so much support coming from people, and frankly, it's showing people are fed up. They're really tired of being pushed around by Wall Street. They're tired of the banksters always winning and changing the rules in their favor. It's a cool thing to see. It's definitely a cool thing to see. We'll see how it plays out and what kind of changes it creates, but for right now, the party is raging, and so I'm just trying to soak it up and enjoy it, really. It's something I think that should be enjoyed by small people like us. people that don't control billions and billions in capital and are really, I mean, the ruling class, there's not a whole lot of debate about that. I mean, these people really do have a big hand in making laws in the country. They have a big hand in influencing how most things go. So this is the David versus Goliath. It truly is the David versus Goliath, and it shows what can happen when everybody teams up and they coordinate and they work together. This, so far, in my opinion, this meme stock craziness has done more to unify the country than any politician or any policy has. So I think it's a good time to be excited, and like I said, enjoy it while it's lasting, because who knows what's going to come of this. But for right now, it's really fun, and today could possibly be the apex of this whole thing. So I think with that being said, it's time to do our underwater meditation. So good. So good. All right, clip is currently sitting at 7 minutes, which means we've done a little over 6 minutes in the 46-degree water. So I think it's about time to hop out and take a look at what's going on. There is a lot to look at. As I mentioned earlier, we have seen a huge breakout in the cryptocurrencies. If we look at the price of Bitcoin on the hourly chart, we've been tracking this pattern for several days now. And yesterday, when we were looking at it, it was touching the top of that line. As we can see, it broke out above that line during the day, came back, and then touched it and used it as support. And this is about the time that we saw Elon Musk put the hashtag Bitcoin into his Twitter bio. If we come over to Elon Musk's Twitter profile, you can see, boom, hashtag Bitcoin. The richest guy in the world put one word into his bio. So obviously it broke the pattern and is now sitting comfortably above it and is closing in on its all-time highs again of 41.9. I mean, it's still well off, but it broke the pattern in a meaningful way. So that's really good. That's really good. I thought we were going to get down here to early February and see a breakdown, but this is excellent news for all the crypto bulls. And it's not the only crypto that broke out yesterday. If we take a look at the Dogecoin chart, we can see insane price action. This was another cryptocurrency that Elon tweeted about yesterday. This is just classic Elon Musk. He tweets out this, and almost immediately after, we see this. We see Dogecoin go from $0.0078 up to $0.088. Went from less than a penny to almost a dime in one single day. You can see these huge green candles down here. Everyone's talking about Gamestop. How about Dogecoin over here? I mean, come on, people. If you're chasing yield, Dogecoin, baby. Dogecoin for the win. Now let's move over to Gamestop, what you all came here for. Gamestop had, as you all know, an extremely turbulent day yesterday, dropping from a day's high of $481 per share down to a low a little more than an hour later of $116 per share. But it's made a huge resurgence. After hours, Robinhood announced they'd be opening it back up. Most of the other brokers opened the trading back up, and so we saw it. It closed at $193 per share, and it's now sitting at $357.80 per share pre-market. As I mentioned earlier in the pool, I think today is going to be the apex of this whole thing, as attention might very well die down over the weekend on it. But this is something that I think we should all be watching
the whole entire day, because this is turning into the biggest story in the world. Robinhood, which has faced an extraordinary amount of scrutiny for only allowing sells yesterday in many of the big name tickers, has released some guidance today. So they're saying opening new positions in the securities is currently allowed but limited. So what does that mean? It means you can only hold this many shares or this many options contracts in these selected tickers. If you currently hold more than that, it's okay. It's okay. You can hold them, but you cannot add to that position. You can still only sell. So most importantly, if we come down here, we look at GameStop. GameStop is only allowing you to hold 5 shares. If you hold more than that, as I said, you can continue holding them, but you cannot add to the position. So for the vast majority of people holding GameStop in Robinhood, you're still set to sell only. So this is pretty peculiar, and it actually really didn't do a whole lot to solve the problem yesterday, and I think we can expect a lot more scrutiny for Robinhood today. Another important thing to note is the number of people that are now on the Wall Street Bets Reddit page. We can see 5.9 million members on this forum. 5.9 million. There were under 2 million members of this forum at the beginning of the week when this all started. Here's what I talked about earlier in the pool. Justin Sun, Asian billionaire, announced he will be buying $1 million of GameStop. I mean, it's crazy. Almost everybody's on our side. Lastly, I think this is important to note. Robinhood had to seek out tremendous funding yesterday, drawing down on several of their credit lines. The firm reportedly drew on a line of credit from 6 banks amounting to between $500 and $600 million. It's also reporting that more than $1 billion in collateral to secure trading in shares. And that does it for today's cold plunge every day until Bitcoin 50K. Things have reached a fever pitch out there, and it's a good time to be paying attention, and really it's a fun time if you have some money in there. So get on in there and or do whatever you want, really. I mean, I don't really care, but I'll continue covering these stories. Like I said, it's a fun time. It's a great time to be involved. It's a great time to be a small person and not an elite or a market maker or Vlad Tenev. So stay safe out there, everybody. Remember, don't risk more money than you're willing to lose. I'm not an investment advisor. This is not investment advice. This is for purely entertainment purposes only. But thank you again for joining me on another episode of Cold Plunge Every Day until Bitcoin 50K. If you have any more questions about what's going on, or if you're interested in what's going on, or if I missed anything, please drop a comment down below and subscribe and turn on post notifications so that way you know every time I post something, because there's a lot of news out there and you never know, and you want to stay up to date, quite frankly. So I will see you all in the next one.